Happy Monday, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Happy June. I am going to be discussing today the three parts that come along with self care. So, the three parts of selves that go with self care. And I know it's been 2 weeks. We had the last day of our self care month, which was May. And so I took a personal day. And then we had a holiday. So it's been 2 weeks. I have missed you, missed you, missed you. And so today we are going to pick up where we left off, which was um, the younger self, one of the most important parts of self care. And so I will be back in 2 minutes to dive into that wonderful topic with you all. As you come on in, say hello, let me know that you're here, and I will talk to you soon in 2 minutes. Hello, 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 everyone. I am Omara Lee, your life coach, whether you know it or not. And I am here to discuss the importance of self care today. And we have been discussing the three parts of three selves of self care. And today we are going to be going more in depth into the younger self and why it's important to kind of go there, shall we say. Let's go and see who's in the room. If you're here, say hello to me. Hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. I did. I know it's been 2 weeks, which has seemed like forever. Definitely needed that day of self-care. How have you been doing, Miss Keitel? It's been very, very interesting to say the least. I have thoroughly enjoyed my vacation, and I mean it's a lot of work. The last week, but the week prior to was definitely well rest and a lot of self care. But I did not leave my self care in May. It has carried over into June, and it will continue to carry every month of the year. How are you doing? I know I said a lot. I don't know why I'm so hyper today. I've been excited for like the last 4 or 5 days, guys. Just super excited. I think I'm just, um, I don't know. I think I'm just so happy for what is happening in my life and just the fullness of it right now. I am kind of living my dream, you know. This is something that I have kind of done all my life. I've always been that voice. And now to be able to do it for a living, to be able to touch people's lives, not only that, just being extremely blessed to have reaped so many benefits from the people that have come into my life, the people who have left my life, and it's in this moment that I'm just like, wow, all of these years, all of these things that have taken a part, all the things that have played such distinct and important roles in my life, whether it was the big part or if it was a small part. It just, every part just had so much purpose. And so I've just been excited. So, talk to me, tell me how's everyone doing? How has everybody, how was the holiday? I was reading something and it was saying that some people were a little bit upset and offended that people had turned the holiday into a big old barbecue day and that it was supposed to really be a memorial. And, sadly, I had not really thought about it, perhaps not as deeply as I should have. There's not many people in my family who served in service. We have had people who served, but then to remember those who didn't get to come home and the ones who had to kind of go on without them, and it kind of just really put me in a different mindset. And so I do hope that everybody did take some time and really be thankful for those who have served and those who have fought on our behalf. So hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. Those who were in remembrance of loved ones, I do wish you all wellness as well. So let's get to the topic. So I know that there's people in there. So say hello to me. I see on Instagram that there is a new viewer. Now, I'm not sure who you are, but say hello. Give me your name. I'm so glad that you're here. I would love to kind of get to know you a little bit better. I love when I see new faces. So let's get into it. All right. We're talking about self-care, and we're talking about the 3 parts of it. It is the younger part of ourselves. It is the current part of ourselves, and it's the future part of ourselves. And all together, it is self-care. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about the younger self and the importance of the younger self and the very, very instrumental role that the younger self plays as we begin to grow and as we begin to get a little bit more mature, and we're a little bit stronger and we're a little bit wiser, and now facing our today to be able to kind of pull from those life lessons that occurred in that younger self. And when we were discussing it, there were some feelings of frustration, feeling overwhelmed, a little bit of fear was popping up, because when you're talking about the younger self, a lot of times for many people, we're talking about the traumatic self, the abused self, the muted self. And that's a very touch and go, a very sticky kind of topic to touch on, but it's necessary. I had to touch on it, and we are going to stay here for a little while. So if you are just coming in, we are discussing the younger self and the importance that it plays in self-care. So where do I want to pick up? I know that we had a 2-week break, and I couldn't have timed that any more horribly than I did, and I deeply apologize for that. So I'm going to try to bridge by just doing like a recap and then kind of speeding up and then kind of getting us to where we are right now. There are things that have occurred in our past where we were younger, weaker. And when I say weaker, I say that with all due respect, but we were, when you're a child, you don't have the mental capacity that you have as an adult. When you're a child, you don't have the strength and the, even the fortitude to be able to do what you can do as an adult. Okay. So when you look at the things that occurred, the things that happened to us when we were younger, when we were children, there were things that were understood as that child, and it kind of carried into our adulthood. And so because a lot of us didn't have that voice that said, to be able to say, hey, so-and-so did this, and this is what needs to happen to so-and-so, and I need this and this and this in order to feel vindicated, in order to feel heard, in order to feel loved. I need this to happen. And that somebody was there that just said, okay, you got it. I love you. You're important to me. A lot of people didn't have that. That's not everyone's experience. That's not everyone's story. And because of that younger part of us, that child in us, kind of stopped growing in a certain sense. He or she just kind of stayed in that childlike state, because sometimes trauma can be so deep that you can't grow past it until a certain time where you now feel stronger and wiser, and you're able to kind of look at it from the outside in and then kind of just deal with it piece by piece, chunk by chunk. Okay. So catching up to today, the younger self and self-care. I had the most awesome opportunity to have a conversation with someone about a week and a half ago while I was on vacation. And they were just explaining to me some things that they had went through. And as they were explaining it, they began to kind of start breathing a little bit different. And I noticed that their body language began to change. They started shifting a lot. And there was a lot of things that was kind of going on that I noticed, okay, this is a trigger. They are now actually beginning to relive, and I was able to talk to this person and say, okay, hey, can we just stop for a minute? Now, this is a stranger. I really don't know this person. I was just on vacation. We just got into this conversation. I said, can I stop you for a minute? Can you just please tell me what you're experiencing right now? And for those of you who have been coming into my Mini Mondays, you're going to recognize these body scanning. I just said, can you just tell me what you're feeling right now? And she began to say, I'm angry. And I was like, yes, those are emotions, but what are you feeling? And she was like, well, I'm hot, and so she started explaining and describing her body. And I noticed that as she started describing her body, she began to calm down a little bit. She began to kind of gather herself, and as she began to explain and describe that, then we went into the emotions of it. And I just told her, I said, I just want to let you know that you're safe right now, and we began to have this conversation. And a lot of more things were spoken. And I only said that because what we're talking about is exactly what happened, exactly what happens to most of us, except for the fact that we're not talking about the topic. But something will usually trigger us, or a conversation or an environment or a sound or a smell or something will trigger us, and we will begin to do the same thing that this young lady was doing. We begin to relive it. Our body starts reliving it. And next thing you know, we're in a full tailspin reenactment of something that may have happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. And so this is why, and it was just kind of like just really, really made me feel more confident that this is necessary, because it's still popping up. Those unresolved issues always come back. The unresolved issues always show their head again, because we're not created to hold in the things that we hold in. We're not created for that. We're created to catch and release. Catch and release. And when we're not able to do that, because we're so young when things happen, then we're holding it. Sometimes 20, 40, 50 years, we're holding it. And it just seeps out a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. And what I'm here today to discuss is the importance and how we can kind of give attention to the younger part of us so that we can transition into the current part of us. Okay. All right. So I am going to, let's see, take a look. Oh, hi, Connie. How are you? It is good to see you. How was your holiday? Oh, I think I misspelled everyone. Hey, Karen. Glad to see you back in the house. Glad to see you. Awesome. Okay. Um, so yeah, we have that part of us that is beginning to seep, the old part of us seeps out of the current part of us. So there was a lot of discuss, and I really do encourage you, if you are coming in for the first time, and if you are, or you're watching this on the replay, please go back to the earlier message, the first broadcast on the self-care, the understanding the three parts of the self-care, because we went over a lot of information in that 1 hour, and it will catch you up so that you are current in what we're discussing today. Okay. So, Karen, I know last time that we were discussing that a lot of things were, I'm sorry, I just got I'm trying to read this. Okay. So, Karen, I just wanted to just check in with you and see how you're doing. Um, I know the last couple of weeks we've been talking about some really, really deep things, and I just want to make sure that everybody is okay tonight before we start moving forward. Um, let's see. Connie says she's fine. Okay, good. Awesome, awesome. So, the younger self and the seeping, the seeping. What does that look like? The seeping. It is these moments where we kind of lose ourselves. It occurs in these moments where we kind of lash out. These moments where we get kind of childlike, and in childlike behavior, those are usually indicative that there's some kind of stunt. And so let me explain that. When we look back at some of the things that we've done after the whole snap is over and the smoke has cleared, and we look back and we go, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. That's usually those moments because we know within our adult selves now, in this current state of mind, that there's no way I would have said that. Oh my, I was just so angry. I was just so hurt. I was just so fill in the blank. And then we just reverted back to a childlike state. And so That's why it's so important to check in with that part of ourselves, because there are some unresolved issues there. There are some hurts. There are some pains. There is anger there. There is frustration there. There is mistrust there. What does it look like in the now? That's just, there's relationships. Sometimes we're in unhealthy relationships and we get into one after the other, after the other, after the other. And we start noticing that there's a cycle here. And if we were bold enough to turn and look back, then a lot of times we notice that all of our relationships from childhood all the way up has been dysfunctional, have been chaotic. And it started as a kid. And as a child, when the environment was chosen for us, it started out in chaos. It started out. And so, but we had to grow up, because one thing we've learned about time is that time waits for no one. It continues to go. We continue to grow. We continue to get older. We continue to, the circle of life, it continues. And so that part of us that doesn't get resolved, that doesn't get healed, that doesn't get a voice, continues to evolve with us. So it's almost like a shadow. Here you are, you're growing, now you're in your teens, and there's like this shadow behind you. And so now, if you can imagine, in some situations, it's almost like the puppet master. You're 25 years old, but the child in you has her hand up behind you, and she's like, or he's like using your mouth and speaking through you, because there's unresolved issues. There's many, and so much blood shed. The blood cries from the ground of people who were just caught in the crossfire, people who were just innocent bystanders, collateral damage, if you would, because we had some unresolved issues. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then it was just kind of like boom, 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 boom. Right. So it's important. And I'm going to keep going back to that. It's important to have that conversation with the younger part of you, because the younger part of you is the part of you that's acting out. The younger part of you is the part of you that can't move any further. A lot of us have achieved great things scholastically. We have achieved great things in our businesses. We have married well. We have done a lot of things, but there's still that part of us, a big part of us, that is unfulfilled. It's a big part of us that's still unhappy. We're still depressed. We're still anxious. We're still going through all of these other things, because there's still the unresolved issue. It doesn't matter how good you paint your face. It doesn't matter how eloquent you are, how charismatic you are. It doesn't matter how many big words you know, or the people that you know. At the end of the day, there's that big void, that big hole that has not been resolved. And so I want us to now take some time to really begin to understand, or to actually even take some time to imagine what that would be like. What would it be like? Imagine yourself sitting in the chair across from your younger self. What we always say, if I could go back and do it all over again, knowing what I know now. But I would like to put a little spin on that. What if we went back and let the younger self tell us what we don't remember from back then? The younger self tell us what we have hidden ourselves from back then. The younger self tell us what it was like just to be put in remembrance. Now, let me just stop for a minute and just say this. By no means am I masochistic, or am I trying to say, hey, let's all just, pack up a big old bag and go in the past and just dig up old dry bones. Not at all. Not at all. If you were with me in the last broadcast, I'm not saying let's go back. It's going to be a great fun time to dig up everything that we've taken so much time burying and patting down and watering and patting down and watering and no, not at all. But there's benefits to it. There's benefits to remembering. Now, I do want to reiterate, and I will do this every broadcast moving forward as long as we're talking about this. Every hill does not need to be climbed. Every story does not need to be retold. And every event does not need to be remembered. But if you are in your now and experiencing still the same things you experienced then there's a conversation that needs to be had at some time in your life. I'm not saying it has to be had tonight. I'm not saying it has to be had next week, next month. But if your past keeps popping up in your now, then there is a story that needs to be heard. There is an understanding. There is some closure that needs to be done. There is some healing that needs to happen, to occur, because as long as there's an unresolved issue, it's going to keep popping up. It's going to keep popping up. The younger person in you is going to continue to scream out. Is going to continue to act out, because we are not made to hold trauma. We are not made to hold negativity, negative thoughts, negative environments. In all of the history, you have seen it, that when you put anything in a negative environment, it does not grow. It becomes stunted. Even plants, even you look at animals, it does not work. And so how much more do you think as human beings? We are not created for that. We have caught some things and we've been carrying some things. We just forgot to release some things. And some of the things have happened so long ago, we forgot what we caught. We've pushed memories down so far, we have forgotten all the details. We have forgotten. Some of us are so numb. Some of us, because we don't want to feel that, but see, emotions don't work that way. You can't say, well, I'm going to just feel a little bit of this or feel a little bit of that, but I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel that. It doesn't work that way. So when I say I don't want to feel pain, that becomes all encompassing. I'm not going to feel pain. So I'm going to build enough walls. I'm going to put up enough barriers to keep myself from feeling pain. And I meant, when I said it, I meant I don't want to feel that childhood pain. I meant I don't want to feel what happened back then. But because emotions don't work that way, and barriers and walls don't work that way, it also stopped me from feeling everything else. So it's imperative that we decide which hill we're going to climb. And so let me pause for a minute. Are there any questions, any concerns right now? If you are still with me, please just give me a thumbs up. Even if you're watching on the replay, please just give me a thumbs up so I know it's okay. Keep going. If you do have a question, I do want to wait a little bit and give you some time to type it in. If you have a comment or anything that you want to say right now, I want to give you time to type that in. So I'm just going to it's going to be an awkward silence, but just give you a couple of seconds to do that. Okay. How you doing, Connie? How you doing, Karen? Hey, Phil. All right. Okay, good. Good, good. Wonderful. Um, and for those who are watching on Instagram as well, feel free to put any questions that you may have. Um, okay, so we're going to go ahead and keep going. All righty. Thank you, Phil. Um, so here's the other part of that. So, okay, Omara, I'm going to ask myself a question. So, what if, or let's just say this, how do I know which hill to climb? I would say that um, it's the one that keeps popping up the most frequent. It's a thing that you say to yourself, "Oh my God, why do I always this again?" It's the thing that it's that like that canker sore. It's that thing that just stays with you and stays with you. And no matter how you're trying to, you've been trying to do it for so long and you just finally, you're almost at the point of just giving up. Like, I'm never going to get better at this. This is always going to be something that's going to bother me. I'm always going to pick losers. I'm always going to be by myself. I will never have anybody that I can trust. I will never have anybody that I can just open up to. Everybody's fake. Nobody loves me. It's these things, these statements, those things that you say to yourself over and over again. Those are the heels that you might want to consider lacing your boots up for. You just might want to lace your boots up for that because it's continuing to come up. When people, I don't, I hear people say, I hate people. People are this, people are that. Well, it can't be the whole world. Everybody in the world can't be against you. It's those people, the ones who have the self-fulfilled prophecies. I knew that was going to happen. This always happens to me. Things never go my way. When you make with those statements mean that there is a deeper issue. It's a deeper issue because yes, a lot of that may be true. Yes, people can get on your nerves. Yes, people are untrustworthy. Yes, people are mean. Yes, people are against you, but not everyone. But when you begin to live your life as if everyone is against you, then it's you who began to build the walls. So a lot of it is just building, 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 always. Building, 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 never. These are absolutes. But it's the time that it takes to get to an absolute. When you get to an absolute, that means you have been building the case to where you just said, finally, there are no trustworthy people. You have some women who say, I cannot have female friends. I just can't. You have men who are like, I don't trust nobody. Everybody's crooked. Everybody's shady. There's these statements that we make. There's these mantras we live by, these codes that we live by that we think is keeping us safe. Those are the signs that there's a deeper issue. There's a deeper issue. You're in Alcatraz. You've put yourself in this, you got all of these huge walls, nothing around you but water, that nobody can get to you, nobody can hurt you, but guess what? Nobody can love you either. If we believe and we tell ourselves, I don't need anybody. I'm fine. What was that movie? I can do bad all by myself. right? And yeah, again, some of that is true, but man cannot live on an island by themselves. It's just impossible. It's impossible to do that. Okay. You need other people around you. Okay. So, hey, Lovey. So, um, those are some of the signs. Those are some of the things that let you know, hey, this might be a hill I need to climb. This might be a hill I need to climb. And again, a lot of the things that we've been through, a lot of the events or the actions that were done to us when we were younger that have made us into the individual that we are, it's hard to turn around and face that thing because we've kind of built the walls around us as if everybody around us, it's their fault. We've kind of given ourselves permission to behave the way we're behaving in the now. I am this way because dot, 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 dot. I am this way because he did this. I'm this way because she did this. I'm this way because so and so wasn't there. Or I'm this way because so and so was there. You know, everybody has their story. Everybody has their own life events. And so to be able to turn around and look at our younger self kind of erases a lot of that because. It erases that because I'm this way because when we turn around and we look at our younger self, there has to be some truth there. There has to be some reckoning there. And it's necessary. It's so necessary to get that reckoning, to get that reconnection so that you can grow, so that you can heal, so that you can mature, so you can now operate in this now. You can now operate in the age you are right now in June of 2021. In order to do that, though, we have to be willing to be able to say, okay, I'm ready to take on some of that. I'm ready to see some of that head on. And it's not easy. No, it's not easy, but it's necessary. When I say necessary, that's not even giving it the light that it needs. It's more than necessary. It is imperative. It is almost a mandate that will allow you to move into the now in a healthy mindset, in a healthy place where you can now say, I'm okay now. Where you can now start taking down some of these bricks. You can now start removing some of these layers. You can at least put a little buoy down there in the water so somebody can get to you. You're okay. You're actually trying to go and get that pardon from the warden because you don't need to be in Alcatraz anymore. You don't need to have yourself on an island all by yourself. You don't need to protect yourself. You can get to that place where you can say, hey, somebody out there is trustworthy. I mean, after all, you think you're that someone, right? Yeah, I did say that. You know, we think that we're the last good thing. You know, I'm the only one that's trustworthy. I'm the only good person left in the world. I'm the only kind and gentle soul. And I'm not being facetious. But what I'm saying is I'm just trying to show that if you think you're the last beacon of light, then surely there's another beacon. Surely there's another person. Surely there's somebody else that's trustworthy. Surely there is a good, strong man that can handle your personality. Sure, there is someone out there that's willing to help you while you go through your healing process. Sure, there's a friend that you can tell all of your deepest woes to, and they're going to keep it to themselves. Yes, there's trustworthy people out there. Yes, there's good people out there. But the reason why we can't see them is because our vision is blurred, because we're looking through 3-year-old eyes, 4-year-old eyes, 7-year-old eyes, 12-year-old eyes, whatever age it was, whatever age it continues to be, I don't know. You put it there. But ask yourself now. I'm going to put this question in there so that if someone's coming in later on, I want you to ask yourself, um, mm, what age are your eyes? And it's not a rhetorical question. I really want you to think about it. Um, I'm sorry, it's taking me forever to type this up because I did not get my nails cut down and I do not like them this long at all. So it's like feel like I don't know what I'm doing. But ask yourself, what age are your eyes? What age are your eyes? I'll give you some time to think about it. Wow. Awesome, Karen. I commend you. Honesty. Honesty. Welcome to your safe place, Karen. Welcome to your safe place. 12. 12. And I promise you, Karen, you're not alone. There are many people right now that's just kind of building up that courage. And I get it. This is social media, and I know, I try to make it as much as I can a safe place. But yeah, there's some that's 12 that's making decisions from a 7-year-old, that's making decisions from even as young as 4, 5-year-old. Someone once told me, if you want to know the age the trauma occurred in a person's life, talk to them longer than 10 minutes and you'll know. And in a lot of situations, it's true. It's true. You can be out somewhere and you'll see people behaving just really, really unbecomingly. You look at them and you're like, wow, that's what we're doing. Okay. But you could almost, if you didn't see their full body, let's say if you could just kind of see like a little shadow of the person, and all you could do is see the action, you could probably just throw an age out there. You can be like, what are these, like 10-year-olds? If you just heard conversation, you would be like, are these kids? What, like, and if somebody said, okay, well, what age do you think this person is? You would probably guess way younger than when they actually take out the filters and you see the person. You be like, whoa, that's a 60-year-old? Wait a minute, that's a 45-year-old? Because when we don't deal with the younger part of us, you better believe they're dealing with us. And that 5-year-old, that 7-year-old, that 20-year-old is coming out. They're talking for us. They're handling problems for us. They're doing all the things for us or through us. Remember, it's the puppeteer act. The hand is in your back and it's just like telling you what to do, and it's doing all the things for us, because there's so many areas of our lives where there are big gaping holes where trauma occurred, where we didn't get to have a voice, where we couldn't say certain things, where we weren't allowed to do certain things, where even sometimes our very movement was inhibited. And so when you're looking at it and you say, hey, whoa, I'm looking and I'm doing things through a child mindset. I'm still thinking like a kid. I'm still behaving like that 5-year-old. And I know that if you really think about it, there has been so many situations in our lives where we say, I felt like I was back in Georgia or wherever it was. Oh, I felt like I was right back at, you know, at the funeral. I felt like I was right there back at, wherever this thing happened to you. I felt like I was right there when my dad died. I felt like I was right there again when my mom walked out on me. I felt like I was right back there again. When he said what he said to me, I remember when my dad said that to me. It felt like for a minute he wasn't even there. He was my dad, right? We have those experiences that we're living, and this thing is happening in us. And what is it? Well, what part of us gets connected to that moment and we can't shake it? Sometimes, I know even now while I'm speaking, a lot of you who are listening, either live or even in the replay, a lot of you are like, "Ooh, okay." Your mind is wandering. You're remembering certain incidents and you're remembering certain feelings. And some of you may even be feeling some things right now. Those are the signs that might be the hill you might want to lace your boots up for. What's the hill you may need to lace your boots up for? I don't know that, but you know that. It's that thing. It keeps coming. It keeps coming. It keeps coming. Omara, shut up about it already. It keeps coming. And it's because God, in all of his awesomeness and the way that he loves us, he'll keep letting that little bear get poked because he's like, get it out of there. It can't stay in there. It's destroying your relationships. It's destroying your jobs. It's destroying your family. It's destroying you. It's destroying your mindset, the way you think. It's destroying everything around you because that area of you, I have already healed it. But you got to walk through the door and allow that healing to begin to take place in you. And so I know, and I said this the last broadcast, it's scary. I know it's scary because it's like, I didn't like it when it happened back then. But like I said the last broadcast, remember, it happened. It happened. It's not happening now. You're so much stronger. You're more powerful. You have more wisdom. If you've been coming into My Mending Mondays, I know without a doubt you have some tools because I give out the tools. You have some ammunition now that you may not know exactly how to do it to perfection, but you have a pretty good idea of, okay, I know how to reverse the ratio. I know how to speak the more positive words over myself. I know how to breathe. I know how to take some time out. I know how to think it through. I know how to step outside of myself now and look at the situation with fresh eyes. I know these are things, and everything that just came out of my mouth. If you're in here for the first time, if you don't remember them, go back to the earlier broadcasts. All those tools are in there. Okay. So if you don't know what to do, if you don't know what hill to climb, ask yourself, what age are my eyes? What age are my eyes? And that's going to be indicative of some hills. What age am I mostly what am I responding to? How am I still in the relationship and I feel like I'm a kid? Why, when I talk to X, Y, and Z, I feel like I'm 6? And what we'll do is we'll say, you're talking to me like I'm 6. You're talking to me like I'm a kid. The reality is we feel like a kid because something is attached to that. It's probably a moment or moments in our past where we felt that way, where somebody when we were growing up made us feel stupid. And now we cannot tolerate nobody making us feel stupid. Or there was a time where we couldn't take care of ourselves, where we felt like we were not protected. So when someone comes into our life and acts like they're going to take something from us, that kid in us pops out and says, oh, no, 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 no. Something in the past is attached to it. That's why it's such a strong emotion. That's why it's such a strong reaction. That's why it's such a, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Because that younger part of us, that unhealed part of us, that broken part of us grabbed a hold of that thing and said, it's happening again. And it's stronger because it's not just an event that's happening right now. There's history, baby. And that history is attached to it. And now it's coming like boom, boom, boom. And now what? Where are you at now? What do you do with it now? I don't know, because I never learned how to cope. I had to keep going because time keeps going. So I never really had the time to really even understand what the heck was happening to me, let alone deal with it. Everybody else went on like nothing happened. Everybody else continued. So what was I supposed to do? What age are your eyes? What keeps coming back up? What keeps coming back up? Okay, how is everybody doing? Is everybody okay? Give me a thumbs up. Say something to me. If you are just now coming in for catch the end of it, or you're watching it on a replay, or you're watching it over your friend's shoulder right now, you can always leave me a question. If there are any questions right now, please do put them in the chat. Let's see here. All right, good. I'm proud of you. So proud of you, Karen. Good. And remember, as we're going through this, you can always stump your feet, clap your hands to snap you back into the now, into the present, into this day, this date, June 7th, 6:50 p.m., Monday. Snap your fingers. Another wonderful thing that you can't do it while you're watching me, of course, but when you start feeling yourself going back, get some cold water, as cold as you can get it. I know people who put ice in it. That's too cold for me, but whatever it takes, and literally just put your face in it. Just submerge, not your whole head, but just, your face to about right here, and just put your face in it. What it does is it shocks the system. And it's like, whoa, it's analogous to being smacked. So, how people say snap out of it, it's a safer way of doing that. So remember, every time we talk about this, every time you remember something that happened back then, it has the potential to try to pull you back into that time. It is not happening now. It is Monday, June 7th, 2021. You are X years old. You are strong. You are powerful. You are mighty. You can handle this. You have been handling it all this time. Maybe not the greatest job at handling it, but you're not dead, which means you did something right from 12 years old all the way up to now, from 15 years old, all 13, 4, 6, you've done something right. So if you start feeling yourself being pulled back into, no, clap your hands, stomp your feet. hop up and down. Get some water, splash it in your face, put some ice cubes in it, put your face in there and just kind of hold your breath for a few seconds and just let your body, it starts to shock itself. And it's like, whoa, okay, whoo, okay. So don't allow yourself to get sunken into a hole. Don't allow yourself to go back into a traumatic experience, because your mind has no concept of time, but your body and everything else. So different parts of you are in different moments. But remember, tell yourself where you are verbally. Use your words. Use your mouth. Say, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's Monday, June 7th, 6:53 p.m. I am not this age anymore. I'm okay. I survived. I survived. And I'm okay right now. Right now. I made, like I said last broadcast, I'm not that person I'm not that age anymore. And I may not be this person, but I'm not that person. I'm this person right now. And this person is safe. Nobody's hurting me right now. Nobody. I'm not experiencing anything currently at this moment. I'm fine. I'm okay. And when I say you're okay, your body, nothing's happening to this right now. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I know how to channel my thoughts. Remember, I am a shrewd realtor. I do not rent out rooms up here. I do not allow people to stay over. I don't have a pull-out sofa. I don't have a spare bedroom. I don't have none of that stuff. No, I do not, because I have to stay in the now, right now. So I am encouraging you, stay in the now, stay right here. And again, I know that this was deep. I know that we're touching things that people usually don't want to talk about. They don't want to discuss it. They want to let the past, let the sleeping dog lie, let it stay let the past be the past. But it's not your past, sweetheart, if it's still in the now. It's not in the past if you're still behaving like a 5-year-old. It's not in the past if you're still smacking people and you're still talking to people with disrespect and just completely rude. It's not in the past if you can't go outside. It's not in the past if you can't hear certain noises. It's now. It's now. And again, I will continue to say this. There are certain heals that require things that are out of my wheelhouse, that are beyond me. There are things that you need a professional therapist for. You may even need a psychiatrist for. I am a life coach. God has blessed me with a large amount of wisdom. I have had many experiences in my life, but there are some things that are beyond me. If you are listening to me and you say, hey, I need to talk to you, then contact me. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Contact me. If it's out of my scope, I am going to refer you to a therapist. I am going to suggest you go to counseling. I'm going to suggest that you go to maybe group therapy, something that is going to be more beneficial than coming to me. Okay. But I will definitely try to get you into the right direction. Don't go at it alone. Don't lace your boots up and go up a hill without someone going with you who is stronger than you, who has more wisdom and more experience in the psyche and in emotions and in trauma than yourself. Okay. I do want everyone to be well. I want everyone to be whole. I want everyone to be healed of everything that was back there so that you can focus now on how to get up there. Okay, it all works together. So before I close out, please, everyone, if you are under the sound of my voice, if you're watching in the repeat, if you are watching with me live, give me a thumbs up if you're okay at this exact moment. And if so, then we are going to close out this broadcast. I do want to let you know that we will be starting group sessions. These sessions are not free, but they will be offered on a first come, first serve basis. And they will be a small group sessions. The sessions will be 2 hours, and there will only be limited space because again, it will be a live webinar where I will be speaking and you will be speaking. We will be conversing to one another. It will be a small, intimate group of people. The topics will change from month to month. So the last Monday of every month will be dedicated to group sessions. And so keep your ear to the grind for that, for more information on that. If you do want more information, please, even if you're watching the replay of this, send me in my inbox or just an email. It doesn't even have to be a long drawn out, but send me your email address so I can start sending you the topics that's coming up. Our first one will be on the last Monday of next month of July. So look forward to that. Again, this is not a free offer at this time because of the fact that it is a very intimate and it's more of a group session. Like I said, we will be speaking to one another. We'll see each other, and we will be really, really diving into things that we cannot go into depth here during this broadcast. So again, I thank you so much for everyone that has come who trusts me on Mondays to speak into you, to impart into you. And Karen, I need to know you're okay before I close out. So I'm hoping that she is still in, that she hasn't logged out yet. All right. Awesome. Okay. Again, I am Omari Lee. I am your life coach, whether you know it or not. And I am here for My Mindy Mondays every Monday, except for now, the last Monday of the month. And I will be back in this room at 6 o'clock next Monday. Until then, be well and be safe. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.